Hey, Eric.
What's up, Chris?
Retrograde Amnesia is a member of the Greenlit Podcast Network, a coalition of creator-owned podcasts focused on video gaming, entertainment, and pop culture. Go to greenlitpodcast.com to find out about all the great shows on the network. Also, Eric, we have a Patreon page at patreon.com/retroam. We have a lot of additional bonus content there. It's quite good. Thank you for working so hard on it. Eric, would you like to hear some hot sounds that I've recorded? Welcome to Retrograde Amnesia, a comprehensive podcast where we discuss classic JRPGs chapter by chapter, beat by beat. In this series, we are covering Chrono Cross. Tonight, we jump into a dimensional vortex with the sole purpose of tricking a goblin so we can sneak into its house. My name is Chris. I'm joined tonight by Eric. Hey, Eric.
What's up, Chris?
Hey, that's going to happen, I think, later. We are also joined tonight by the Real Net, a collective of patrons who are listening to us record live. You too can join us at patreon.com/retroam.
We are also joined by the Fake Net, our post-production AI companion, who fell just short of a Guinness World Record by doing the dip for 17 and a half hours.
The dip?
The dip.
What is that?
Initializing Fake Net.
I put my hand upon your hip. When I dip, you dip, we dip. You put your hand upon my hip. When you dip, I dip, we dip.
Oh, okay.
When I dip,
yeah, all right.
You dip, we dip.
Okay, well, the Fake Net has the ability to do that, so congratulations.
It didn't. It fell short.
Okay. Fell short. Okay, well, no one's perfect.
Not a person.
Yeah.
Another stellar exchange as always, boys. Way to go.
So, have we reached the dark middle chapter in this game?
I don't remember where the exact middle of this game is, but I remember we are going to be enveloped in darkness. Tragedy has just struck. All of our friends are gone. We're a cat man.
Yeah.
And we're in hell.
We've lost our body. And so, yes, speaking of hell, we are heading to the next chapter in this video game, Eric. It is called the Temporal Vortex.
Okay. Did you just give away the game?
The subtitle is one of the following three. Is it The Rift Where Time Sleeps, Where Lost Souls Wander, or Lost Broken Souls?
It is not Lost Broken Souls.
Okay.
It is The Rift Where Time Sleeps?
It is not.
Damn it!
It is Where Lost Souls Wander.
The Dark Souls of Chrono Cross.
Yes, indeed. But before we actually get to that, we are greeted with a CG cutscene, right? Of Kid on the beach, looking at a point of view character, I'm assuming is Surge or us or whatever, and reaching her hand out and smiling.
Mm-hmm. Everything's going to be okay.
And then fading into the oblivion. We then wake up in a coloring book in Lynx's body, right?
Yes.
I had no memory of this place whatsoever, so I thought my shit was fucked up.
This place is rendered so that it looks like your pixels are broken. It is an LSD Dream Emulator pixel phase paradise.
Yeah.
It stabilizes, but it's still a Technicolor wonderland. It's beige and blue pixel vomit. Where the fuck am I? And what dreams may come shit is this?
Yeah, it's true. And this is kind of over the top a little bit, but in its defense, it does not overstay its welcome.
No, it's very short. It reminds me of when our friend used to take acid and describe the place he went to as color hell.
Oh, yeah, I remember those times, yeah.
It's painterly and wild and beautiful, and this cannot be any shade of reality. Oh, God, there's a pair of eyes and a hole by a save point.
Yeah, a lot of... I got really confused. The first thing I was trying to do was access that save point, and I didn't realize I had to initiate the story to get to it. But this scene is like, there's like a small hut in the middle of what looks like a lake or a valley, and then a huge tree.
Yeah, and there's like a circus tent back there, too. It looks like fragments of reality that someone has just spackled paint all over with a paintbrush. And this is brand new stuff, though. It's... Yeah. Very unique. It is technically ugly, but I like it.
Yes.
Also, we're Lynx.
Yeah, we're Lynx. And we knew that we were Lynx, but I think the reality of that it sets in once you wake up here. You're like, oh, okay, this is what this game is going to do to me, which is actually going to be, I think, a pretty interesting mechanical distinguishment, I guess you could say, because now Lynx is an innate black element, and now we're going to be able to fiddle with those mechanics a little bit differently.
It's like we're the opposites. Two things. One, a narrow space between dimensions. New music is playing.
Yes.
Two, My brain is now damaged in such a way that whenever someone says the word reality, I say let's go in my head.
Yeah, that's absolutely the case. By the way, the song's called The Bend of Time.
I've got narrow space between dimensions, which is where we are physically. We're not in a bend of time.
We are also in the bend. It's kind of the same thing. It really is. God.
It really showcases how localization can shape reality. Let's go.
Yeah, especially when you're translating from English from Japanese to English, when the languages are so. There's a large bend of time between those two languages.
Yeah, so what are we doing here? I'm pushing a rock?
Yeah, there's some rock puzzles. Well, the first thing I did was climb the tree. And there's a big old leaf out there that you can shake that drops an apple or
I got
something. Nut, okay. I thought it was red, but sure, that works. Then a little guy, person, runs out of that little hut and then gets it and then goes back in its house. And it's
like a squirrel.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, okay, that's what we have to do here. But first I did a little bit of additional exploration before I actually snuck into that little house. But yeah, I think there are 2 rocks you have to push at the top of this little hill. And once you push those 2 rocks, you can reveal a path to a revive element, which is something that we've been hoping to get another one for a while now.
I was very fortunate to get a second one. I was also very fortunate that before I was sent to this dimensional vortex, that all of my teammates took their elements off and put them in my pocket.
Yes, thank you. We appreciate that, Glenn, Skelly, etc.
And their equipment.
Yes. Did you notice that the waterfall here?
Yeah.
It's going upwards.
Of course it is.
Pretty cool. Yeah,
At least it's the color of water, right?
Yeah.
That's still nice.
Yeah, that's true. That's our one reference point.
There's actually a really good shot of that waterfall from the house we're about to go into.
Oh, yeah, cool.
Nice bay window.
So, speaking of the house, you ready to go in there?
Yeah, let's do it.
So we shake a tree, we drop a nut / apple / whatever, and the thing goes in there, and you have 5 seconds to get in there? And then once you get in there, the scene begins. We're inside of the house.
Do you want me to try the embarrassing accent, or do you want to do it?
I'll start, and we'll see where it goes.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so when you get in this house, how would you describe this house? It's just kind of like a low-tech house, basically.
Yeah,
there's a hammock.
There's a hammock attached to a ceiling. The walls are either painted with iridescent green strokes of paint or have alien green vines of some kind of plant growing on them. There's a nice bay window, as we said, looks out in the valley with visibly radiating electric blue hell water. Sprigg, this person, also has 2 shelves, one by the window with some vases or bongs, and another by the south wall with a stool and some pots.
Yes.
No toilet.
I saw no toilets here either, I don't think, unless we discover that in my notes later. So... Yeah, so this goblin thing...
It's very upset.
Is very upset that we snuck into his house, which, of course it would
I would imagine habitable real estate in color hell is hard to find.
Yeah, absolutely. And it says, "Hey, you, what are you doing in me house?" And it goes on to explain a little bit more, and it thinks that we are another wandering spirit, and wonders how many years it has been since a physical being wandered into this world.
Very strange indeed.
Yeah, this person, who we will later come to find out is gendered as female, she says, I figured you for another wandering spirit. How many years has it been since a physical being wandered into this world? Very strange indeed. Is this a lore dump, or is this explaining the machinations of this place?
She goes on to say that it's controlled by chance and chaos.
Yeah.
And I want to say that she knows as much as we do, but she spent more time here.
Yeah,
so
that's
these
true.
are her observations. Like, when you go to jail and the guy who's been there tells you all about jail on your first day?
Yeah. Yeah, well, no. I don't know that, but but that happens in fiction.
Sprigg also kind of references some metaphysical aspects. She says, something you have today may be gone tomorrow, just like this beert I'm olden. Beert. Just like I'm beert. Important stuff, irreplaceable stuff. All these may come to arm with superlative ease. Sprigg later concludes that this has no meaning in their daily life. Surge implies that meaning is non-existence. Quote, no matter what's born, lost, or changed, it's beyond calculation. There will be no one or nothing watching over you, such as life. And by Surge, I meant Sprigg.
Yes, of course you did.
First question, am I dead?
I don't think we're dead.
Because this is a place of meaningless existence with nothing that makes sense, occupied by a single troll person. Is Sprigg a demi-human, or is this just like a race we haven't encountered yet? Is there any evidence in this whole game what the shit is happening with Sprigg?
I think Sprigg is a demi-human, and I'll tell you why later.
Okay.
Once we get to that point.
That's cool.
Do we go to sleep then, or any more quotes?
Well, I took a ladder down to that safe point, and then I had to go... this is the point where I resorted all my elements. Chris, did you hand key all your elements, or do you smash that auto button?
I smash the auto button and then make adjustments.
Okay.
That's how I usually do it.
I think I need to do that for mental health, because I just take too long fiddling with stuff.
Yeah. I usually spend more time arranging my stronger ones, so I can kind of calculate how to, build up my meter, for lack of a better term, to get your strong elements off later in the battle if it's a long battle.
So you slept here? I tried to leave and Sprigg got very upset.
No, it lays in a hammock and suggests that we do the same. And then I think you can say yes or no or something of that nature.
Interesting.
And then I went back to nap. After that is when you access the save point.
Yes,
so,
you're right. You're right.
So, but yeah, and that's actually when Sprigg stops you.
When you try to leave.
Yeah, when you try to leave in the morning, Sprigg tries to stop you. And she asks if we're even going to leave without a word of thanks. And then she's like, yeah, I'm coming with you. She has a feeling that she can get out of here if she tags along. And I'm getting a feeling here that the Sprigg is not at this place either.
Yeah, Sprigg's a prisoner.
Yeah, I wondered if maybe Sprigg... Do you remember when we stopped in Marbule a little while ago and they were talking about the missing elder?
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if Sprigg is the missing demi-human elder.
That's a good question.
I don't know if that's ever...
Sprigg's pretty old.
Yeah, Sprigg's pretty old, and Sprigg has been kind of lost to time, and that was kind of how that situation was described as well. So that's my hypothesis now.
It's funny how many characters are lore devices, and this is when I actually want to be, and they have no interest in explaining how they got here or what this is.
Yeah, I know, right. I mean, this game removed all of our Titans, and it's giving us a new one right here, except for it's an old lady.
Instantly.
So then Sprigg... I did write Sprigg here.
Yeah,
so
autocorrect, thanks.
So then Sprigg joined your party.
Victory music.
With her old Cockney accent. Got some facts on old Sprigg.
Facts and fiction or just facts, sir?
Just facts. Sprigg's occupation is a lovable old lady.
Aren't they all?
Her age is 224.
Holy shit balls. Is that the champion so far?
It has to be. Has to be.
I think like Mojo's like question marks or something, right?
Yes, and like Matcha was like in the 30s or late 30s, early 40s. And I think there was one more person, but I don't think we're going to have any additional competition here. So her origin, which this doesn't give us any information about her background, and I'm starting to wonder if I should trust this, but her origin is Dimensional Vortex. So, but she's
well, that's where she originated in this game for us, right?
I think maybe that's what origin. But I mean, some people's profiles say the Xenon mainland, and that's not where we meet them. So, who knows? Maybe they didn't want to bring about a spoiler.
Are there inconsistencies in a rapidly localized video game from 20 years ago?
Of course not. Richard did a great job.
He did.
Her height is 4'4". Her weight is 86 pounds. Her build is dwarfish, and she is left-handed.
Joins Danny DeVito in the dwarfish build.
Like the devil.
Chris is left-handed, folks.
Her Japanese name is Spriggan, which is I believe that is a reference to
one of your animes?
Well, yeah, there is an anime called Spriggan, but also it's a reference to, I believe, a Japanese beast of folklore. That's the best I can do right now. I can't give you more specifics than that.
Thanks, Chris.
Sorry.
Initializing fake net.
Japanese, sir. A Spriggan is a legendary creature from Cornish fairy lore. They were depicted as grotesquely ugly, wizened old men with large childlike heads and were said to be found at old ruins, cairns, and barrows guarding buried treasure.
Thanks, FakeNet.
Either Chris or Eric would fit the description of a Spriggan.
Her fortune. When you take her to the fortune teller, this is very interesting. She said, the fortune teller says, Lady Sprigg. She gives her an honorific right at the top of the bat, which is another reason I thought maybe she was the elder. She says, Lady Sprigg, have you been well? Sprigg retorts with cackle, I'm a-doing fine. I finally made it back to the real world. It will be swell to hang out with yous again. So, now the fortune teller in Termina, as far as I know, there's only one in this game, in the Another World. So I'm guessing
good point.
Sprigg is from Another World. Yeah, that would line up with where Marbule had a missing elder. So perhaps. And that's it. That's all I've got for Sprigg.
That's all for Sprigg.
Yeah. We'll learn later during combat that Sprigg is a shapeshifter. She has no element grid except for like 3 slots, and her primary ability is a transform ability, which transforms her into enemies that we have fought. Like I can't remember many of them off the top of my head, but I know one of them was the cat burglar.
I just learned this for the first time.
Oh, you didn't even use her?
No, well, I did, but I guess I did. I was doing physicals because there weren't many battles.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true. So Sprigg is a much different than the other characters. So
we leave Sprigg's house. Sprigg really doesn't pack anything. She just leaves. But I have a question. When you leave the house, there's still eyes in the dimensional vortex holes.
Maybe those are the lost souls.
Okay.
Lost broken souls.
At the very top of this place is a yellow tower with a purple door covered in red paint. The kids throw at each other in the real make-believe food fight and Hook.
Yes, thank you.
Then we get to the tower.
Yes, we get in the tower and...
As soon as I walk in, I meet Harley, who has been expecting us. In fact, she says we're late.
Yes.
She says we don't have time to dawdle and that we may truly get lost in time. Quote, I can't afford to lose you just yet. What kind of Cheshire cat shit is this?
This is why Harley is great. She's bringing electricity to this moment because we need some familiarity. We need some guidance here.
But no explanations. Just okay. Thank God you're here.
By the way, she mentioned that we're lost in time. The track Lost in Time begins to play here.
Cool.
So just to let you know about that. But yeah, she seems very interested in Lynx, not Lynx the person, but Lynx the body.
Yes.
Because she makes it very clear that she believes that we need to accept that we are Lynx. We are not Surge.
In fact, the first question you ask, it's a choice. Either I'm not Lynx or am I Lynx?
Yes. And what'd you pick?
Am I Lynx?
Yes, I did too. And Harley responds by telling me that I'm no longer Surge. I am now Monsieur Lynx. She tells me all about me being that. And then she does that weird Nights into Dream stuff where she hops way down to the ground floor of that tower. Because in that tower, it's like we're having the perspective that you have where you look straight down a tower full of balconies, and it's like a long drop to the bottom. And she jumps down there to continue her speech.
Chris, I have to correct you.
Yes.
Knights do not walk, they fly. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. Thanks, fake Eric.
But Surge is clearly having a bad time, and she tries to rationalize it by saying, just look at yourself. Who in their right mind is going to believe you are Surge?
Yes.
She tells us we have to be Lynx.
She says, voila. You are Monsieur Lynx. It is simple as that. That is who you are. C'est la réalité. If you try to go against réalité, réalité will surely crush you. Réalité will kill you. And reality will continue to go on as if nothing ever happened. From yesterday to today. From today to tomorrow. Réalité marche on. Leaving your crushed body behind. Eric, this is reality. Let's go.
That's what it basically says.
That's what she's saying. Is this the best This is Reality, Let's Go line that we've had in the course of Retrograde Amnesia?
She's trying to process Surge through the shock of being a different person by saying, look, man, we've got to fucking go right here.
Yeah.
And then she does something very specific. I don't know if this is intentional, but Harley, you ever seen Twister? Carrie Elways, Bill Paxton?
Helen Hunt.
Carrie Elways is the villain, and he's got like a thick southern accent, but he wants to get serious. He drops it entirely.
Today, we're going to make history. So stick around. The days of sniffing the dirt are over.
Oh, that's weird.
Similarly, I don't know if that's intentional or not, but Harley, I don't know if it's a facet of just the way it's written, but she drops the French accent sometimes.
Yeah, occasionally. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, it's great. I really like this little speech because she's basically saying that we need to accept the reality that we are.
But you can
Lynx.
still question it. You say, but I'm Surge or I'm Lynx, question mark.
I said I'm Lynx.
So did I.
Yeah, and she says, bravo. And bravo, say exact, you are Monsieur Lynx. And then she starts walking down the fucking walls.
Yeah. Up and down. We're in like a cartoon funhouse type thing.
Yeah, and she tells us some very interesting lore here during this next part of the speech. She says regarding our memories of being Surge, she says you may be able to rewrite it using the Dragon Tear.
So we can go back in time.
Surge died 10 years ago in the other world. I thought the Dragon Tear just exploded, by the way. Remember when Lynx...
There's multiple worlds.
That's true. Then she goes on to say, how can you be sure that this is really you? And then she wonders something kind of... I don't know how to describe this. Depressing, sad, whatever. She wonders if Surge was ever really Surge. And all this reinforces the fact that Surge, to me, is some sort of piece of this process. Like he's maybe a trigger, so to speak.
A device?
Yes, a device in this entire lore machine that we are attempting to unravel here. And she's making that clear. Like, maybe you weren't even Surge. Maybe you're just a piece of this process. She says, maybe for you it is evident, but I wonder if you were ever really Surge. Furthermore, what is Surge? A figure, a shape, a spirit, a soul? Where was this Surge?
Did you just scream in her face? I'm the playable player protagonist.
Yeah.
That's what I am.
Yeah, and then something weird happens at this point.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Surge's portrait appears on the screen and starts asking questions and says, who am I? Who are you? You're not me. I'm not you. I am reality. You are. And then trails off. And then before this game goes full Ava, Harley comes to the bottom floor and kind of meets up with our party. And Sprigg, for some reason, has some information to give us here and says that we need to open the door to reality only. One mistake and you'll never make it back to the real world.
Sprigg, how you know this? Sprigg hasn't been in here before. I mean, I know Sprigg knows more rules than we do.
Well, Sprigg had the key, though.
Yeah, but Sprigg couldn't go in. Presumably, whenever you enter this door, Harley just shows up and starts asking like philosophical mind fucks.
So is Harley the only one that has the ability to unlock the door back to reality? Like
I think so. You have to pass to her trials and quests.
okay, so you have to have both Sprigg and Harley. Sprigg can open the door. Harley does the
Like in my current headcanon, other Links who died whatever years ago came here and successfully escaped and just kept Harley as like a companion.
yeah. No, that's very 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 possible.
I don't know. I don't even remember what that purpose is, but maybe once you beat the trials, you have access to interdimensional vortex because we've seen Harley flip out of the ether at least twice.
Yeah, that's true. So, do you want to describe what you have to do here? Because it's weird.
Yeah, you're at the top and you watch Surge enter a door, and apparently the door is randomized, but there's 4 like cardinal direction doors on top and 4 on the bottom. Whichever one's like Surge on the opposite goes in, you go in. So basically, if he goes east, you take the east door. If he goes north, you take the north door. And eventually, Harley says, "How boring. Fine. I understand how you feel. Let's head back to reality," which he says with no French accent.
So I thought that I swear that on the first like Surge walking towards the door thing here,
yeah,
it was Pip. I swear I saw Pip.
Chris is emulating this game.
So I don't know, perhaps. So
I guess that's possible.
Yeah, for sure. So then Harley joins the party.
Victory music.
Indeed. This is pretty. If you're playing this game blindly for the first time, this is kind of shocking, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we're just completely taking the opposing force.
At this point, I think if you encounter someone with a portrait, you have a 75% chance of getting them in your party.
We could actually probably calculate that.
We could, based on total portrait characters.
Yeah.
But would you count Another World and Homeworld as the same chance?
No, because you're not going to get zapped twice or whatever.
Right.
You know?
Okay.
So, Harley has joined the party. I have some notes on Harley. Would you like to hear them?
Of course.
This is great. Her occupation is enigmatic jester.
Oh, knights.
Yes, indeed. Into dreams. Her age is 18, female. Her origin unknown, from another world. Her height, inexplicably, is unknown. Her weight is unknown.
I give her about 5'4".
Her build is unknown. However, we do know that she is right-handed.
She does have translucent pants, too. I noticed that recently.
Oh, interesting. I didn't notice that before. Her Japanese name is Tsukiyomi, and according to this guide on RPG Shrines, this is from the Japanese Tsuki, which means moon, and Yomi, which means reed.
Yomi, huh?
Yeah. So, cool. Her element is black, and her weapon is shot.
Yes, which is throwing shit.
Yeah, throwing, in her case, I think daggers or
Lucia
something.
does that, yeah. I can't really tell.
Let's see what else we got here. Her accent, of course, is French. We already knew that. And her fortune is, in your eyes, I perceive both the look of beauty and the look of a beast. Be mindful not to bring about your own end. The truth is beginning to reach out to engulf you. Eric, does this mean that Harley has the dark, cruel destiny of a god?
I think she has to reach out and touch faith.
Okay. Faith? Fate? God?
Reality?
Let's go. So once we get to this next little area, it strangely changes the background music to the battle music.
Yes, it plays Gale.
Yes, it plays Cyclone. Whirlwind. One of those.
If you'd never rescued Kid, Harley will now give Surge the astral amulet.
Mm-hmm.
But both Chris and I done that. But this is another Escher painting where optical illusions can change the way we measure linear progress.
Yes.
Different lines on this. I guess it almost is like a frame of a building that we have to move down. Like an unfinished building with steel spike frames.
Yeah.
And there's a switch up here you can throw that can slightly alter your path. Although I think the only purpose in throwing it is to get some chests that are down here, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
There's Mithril, which after Iron and Silver is our next path forward to upgrading our gear.
Mm-hmm.
Like all of the gear, there's the thing where a bunch of the elements are plentiful, but you're slowly gated by which one you need to have the next level of good shit.
Yeah, for sure.
So we get in some battles down here, Chris.
Yeah, I think I only discovered one enemy down here.
Yeah, there's one enemy, but in the background of the battle screen are like spooky Halloween ghosts that pop in and out of existence.
Yeah.
That's kind of neat. The only thing we fight here are total chaos.
Yes.
Intercapped one word. They are dancing 2D images of some kind of purple goblin with an elaborate orange headdress. They have yellow Dreamcast swirls for eyes and big open mouths with a few teeth.
I like yours better than mine. Mine is, they are weird dancing troll things that look like unfinished creatures from Where the Wild Things Are.
That's good. That's pretty good. What if they are like Spriggs that got corrupted and flattened out to 2D?
Yeah, maybe that's the case. I mean, maybe these are the lost souls that she was that she mentioned.
So as is the case, Lynx misses 6 consecutive hits.
Eric, sight scope. You need to work on that hit percentage.
Nobody can hit anything. I'm out of levels, so I can't use elements. Wait. These things move and shift itself. You can't hit them while they shift to a different dimension of 2D. Like if they're facing you, if they shift to horizontal, they can't be hit with physical attacks.
Oh, interesting.
It's a really subtle move they do.
I did. So Lynx has 2 tech moves that we know. His first one is Glide Hook, which is it's similar to the Dash and Slash or whatever, and his equivalent of Luminaire is Feral Cats.
Yeah, dude.
Where he just summons a bunch of, I don't know,
Feral cats.
Feral cats. They're like magic cats or whatever that just kill everything. And once I got that off, these things just die.
Well, perhaps some of us aren't as adept as combat as you are, Chris.
Well, I mean, maybe you should. Just put that side scope on there, man. It helps a little bit.
Did you do anything else here before you got to the bottom?
Not really. Just went down there and jumped down to Weird Hole.
Yeah, it's like a 1 dungeon screen. It's not really. I mean, you don't want to spend too much time in the Temporal Vortex. Right?
No, it hurts your eyes. But I was actually surprised that this wasn't going to be a little bit longer, where we were going to learn some additional lore things.
But it's like Lynx jumps in the vertical hole, but there's plenty of horizontal holes that Total Chaos go into that they just kind of jump in and out the other. But I don't know why the horizontal hole is. Is
Lynx and friends are... We're just going to call them Lynx now, right? We're not going to say Surge.
It's Lynx.
Right? Yeah, it's Lynx. I mean, we listen to Harley, right? It's Lynx. So are Lynx and friends able to escape here because they have the Astral Amulet?
That would seem to be the case considering Harley gave it to them, but I think they're able to escape because Harley knows her way around better than Sprigg and definitely better than Lynx.
Question, Harley's Astral Amulet, which in our case, we didn't get it, but because we both got Kid before Fort Dragonia, but Harley's Astral Amulet, is she in possession of an additional one, or did she somehow get Kids? Because she very easily could have gotten Kids after Kid was incapacitated during all that stuff.
Just snatched it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, but, I mean, there's several questions here because you thought Harley was Lynx's right-hand man or woman, but now that it's Surge, is she like permanently bound to the fate of this entity in Lynx form? That
might be the case. She seems like maybe she's some sort of caretaker of a scenario.
There you go.
You know, kind of like we saw this in Xenogears a lot, where like Groff and Ramses and all these different people had different loyalties going in different directions, and many of these characters were presented very early on from the perspective of like, they're not the one in charge. Krellian and stuff like that. They eventually emerged to being the high tier string puller.
The Charlie Day conspiracy map.
Indeed. Absolutely.
So there's a strange noise as we phase out of here. Where do we wake up?
Hey folks, it's Asif Khan, CEO and Editor-in-Chief over at ShackNews.com. Give a listen to our 9 to 5 Elon podcast about Tesla and electric vehicles and all sorts of cool stuff over there on the Greenlit Podcast Network.
Welcome to Casual Magic, the show where we explore the fun side of Magic the Gathering. I'm your host, Shivam Putt, and each week we delve into everything from casual formats to explorations of creatures and card types to interviews with designers of the game. At Casual Magic, we believe that it just isn't Magic without the Gathering. Come along and play.
Well, Eric, before we wake up, we have to change chapters.
Oh boy, new chapter.
New chapter.
New chapter.
New chapter.
It's called Back from the Darkness. We weren't in the darkness for very long, and this
pretty colorful, actually.
Yes, yeah, I know. I'm saying, is the subtitle "A New Body and a New Quest, and On with a New Journey," or "Angels Lost Once Again"?
Oh, that's that last one. Angels Lost Once Again. Absolutely.
Buzzer noise.
What?
You're wrong.
Angels have lost their way, Chris.
I know.
Once again.
I fool you.
That's what it is.
I fool you.
You can't fool me with good stuff. You have to pick stupid things that don't...
I am Borat of this game.
Is it the first one?
No, it's And On with a New Journey. It's a simple one. Yeah, sorry,
crap.
Eric.
Total crap.
So whatever.
We're all garbage.
Yeah, so we have manifested in the Hydra Marshes. In the
Homeworld.
Homeworld.
Yeah, these are the
not the world where we died.
Yes, these are the colorful versions of...
So where in my game I went to genocide dwarves, get a Hydra humor, kill a wingipede, just do some fun stuff.
Yeah, and actually, like, I guess we can go ahead and note this now. I wondered if, maybe I can go do some of that stuff. At least go fight some dwarves and destroy the forest so I can complete my fate. But there are some explorers here, and there might have been some poor soldiers here as well that have already done the deed.
Yes, but they still have stuff you can get from them, I think.
Yes, I mean, there's still stuff that we can get here, but they mentioned that they've already killed the Hydra.
Oh, okay.
And things like that.
That's nice that they wrapped that up. They're like, we just decided to kill it, for fun.
Yeah, so those dwarves were mad at me for an actual reason, so...
You're a human, or you were at the time.
Yes. So, yes, we're here. Harley reminds us...
It plays Hydra Marshes.
Indeed. Harley reminds us that we are in the Hydra Marshes, close to our home, and Sprigg is fucking happy.
Lynx turns in a few circles, and maybe I'm reading too much into it, but there seems to be a surprised sense of satisfaction and recognition here. Like, since the character can't look around and go, oh, yeah, I know where this is. Like, I think the game tried to convey that by Lynx collecting his bearings.
Oh, that's neat. I didn't notice that. Sprigg says it's time to partay. let's have a toast to our return into the real world.
Even the water and air is different. This is great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So at some point, Harley speaks and says, welcome back to reality. Does this look familiar to you? Do you need me to tell you where you already are? What'd you pick?
I think I said no.
I said, yes, tell me.
Okay. And at that point in time, I don't have it.
Harley ticks Lynx for not remembering and then states they are very close to his home. Harley states we're in the Hydra Marshes, but she can't state whether the Hydra still exists or not.
Yeah.
Because I imagine Harley as a time hopper I know where we are, but I can't tell if you all have fucked this thing up yet in this one, so...
Yeah.
Come on.
At that point, Harley gives us our next mission. She says that we need to think about the place where it all started, where angels lose their way, blah, 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 yakety schmackety. And
she also chastises Sprigg and calls her an old lady and asks her to get her emotions under control.
Yeah, because, Sprigg was just here wanting to party.
Yeah.
By the way, I have an announcement to make.
Yeah.
Sprigg is good.
Sprigg's pretty good.
Because Sprigg says... Sprigg calls where angels lose their way, where angels... whatever. It has a bad ring to it. Harley calls it a gate to another world, but we are not. But I'm not really sure why we are relitigating all of this stuff. I guess they're wanting to remind the player about how we got here, but I think we know that by now. But it's weird.
I think Sprigg should be allowed to celebrate. She even says, "You sure are a buzzkill."
Yeah.
Where are to now? If you've been in color hell for 100 years, probably.
Yeah.
It's going to be cool to be in the Hydra Marshes.
Of course.
I don't like it here. I've been here already.
Exactly. Sprigg is seemingly happy to tag along though after Harley explains herself, because Sprigg seems to be interested in additional dimensional vortexes, which I don't know why I wouldn't be if once I got out of one of those fucking things. But
Sprigg, Harley's kind of waxing intellectual, then Sprigg says, "What in the hell are you talking about?"
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah, Sprigg's good. Sprigg's really good.
My next note is Sprigg can't believe this shit, and then my notes, something disappeared, but I wasn't paying attention to my PlayStation Vita where I'm currently playing this game.
Oh, I know it disappeared. It was there was a slight pulsating of energy on the ground where we landed, as if we had opened another place.
So we didn't walk to the next destination, we teleported there?
No, I'm sorry. From the Temporal Vortex to the Hydra Marshes, there was a place where we landed after we jumped in the hole, and as soon as we started to advance, it disappeared.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, it pulsated.
Dissipated.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay, Eric. So are you ready to return to where angels lost their way?
Do you mean Opassa Beach?
Yes. It appears to be the place that we are referring to here.
It's the cool noise of the waves as we enter.
Indeed. So what happens here, Eric?
I try to use the astral amulet. Lynx shakes his head. Sprigg speaks up, disappointed the dimensional gate won't open. Then for some reason says, "Heh, you be in hot water now." Like there's some major punishment Lynx is going to receive.
Yeah.
Harley notes that of course it won't open. The missing piece of this world has been found. There is nothing we can do. You are now just an unwanted piece. Didn't Harley, imagine Harley just handed you the astral amulet. Wouldn't she have known this was going to be the end result?
I think so.
But she wanted you to see it for yourself, maybe?
Yeah, I think she's in the process of doing some meddling with things. She's trying to
educate our boy.
Yes, basically.
Sprigg asks us what we're going to do now, and then says, "How about we go explain the situation to your mother?"
Mother, yeah. And if you were not up to date on your Cockney accents, then you might be confused.
We might find something. Yeah, my note is WTF is mother, and then capital letters, "Oh, mother."
Yeah, mother.
Mother.
Yes, mother.
I am not your mother. Please get a grip.
So yeah, then we have to go back to Arni. This is the first time we've been there in a long time, the original Arni, and now we're a demi-human, so we have some different experiences to have.
Arni Village Homeworld Plays.
Indeed, thank you.
Chris, the kindly man by the door is not so kindly.
No, we arrive in Arni, and the old man at the entrance wants to know why these people are here.
These demi-humans. He insults us and asks what we want.
Yes. Harley says something interesting here.
She shoves it down his throat, man.
She calls the man a geezer, which is a word I think we like on this podcast a lot, and asks what type of attitude that is. Then she says that she will kick his derriere to the moon.
If you talk to him on Lynx.
Derriere means backside.
I thought it meant butt.
It does, but I think derriere literally means behind.
What about this next line? If you talk to him on Lynx, comme ka?
I don't
you
think
speak French, Chris. FakeNet, what's that mean?
Initializing FakeNet.
Comme ça translates to like that. So Harley is saying she will kick his asshole to the moon if he talks to Lynx like that. Also, brief revelation, boys. If Harley is French, then her name is pronounced Arl.
I don't have it down.
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't have it down. So she's going to kick his butt to the moon, which is curious.
So the man screams and calls Harley a freak in capital letters. And,
Yeah.
I mean, that's harsh, but Chris, I'm rolling around with a fucking clown here.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, we've already met Skelly, so we're good.
If you speak to him again, he has nothing to say. Then he calls us accursed monsters and says to get the hell out of his village.
Yeah. He doesn't actually make us leave, though.
No, he can't. I mean, like most people, like most older people who are positioned at the front of department stores, they're just all there to put a friendly face on the thought of stealing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. So where'd you go first when you in your exploration here?
I did people outside before I went anywhere.
Okay.
The merchant in the center of the village asks us where we hail from. She doesn't wait for a response, and like all good merchants, still lets us buy stuff.
Yes.
Could she buy anything?
Not really. Everything here sucks, kind of.
Nah, dude, I got a silver swallow and mithril mail for Lynx, and I'm not buying shit for Sprigg.
Oh, oops.
Yeah.
I didn't check the weapons. I only
That
checked the
silver
elements.
swallow's good, man.
Yeah.
You gotta get that.
Yeah, I'll have to double back.
So the gossiping ladies, did you speak to them?
Yeah, they don't really have much to say.
They're more accepting than this guy
yeah,
was.
yeah, for sure.
They thought demi-humans were only aboard the Zelbus and in Marbule.
Mhm.
One tells us not to misbehave.
Yes.
So the little kid running around says we're strange looking and asks if Lynx is a cat man.
Yeah.
Then stutters a bit and asks us not to bite his head off or scratch him to death.
Thanks.
The kid also notes that he is big and strong and he's not afraid of us. Plus, Sergi will protect him.
Yes. Harley chimes in and agrees with this. by
Yeah,
the
she
way.
follows through.
Yeah.
If Serge would do that for him, then he's safe and no one will be able to harm him.
Yes.
You talk to Una?
Yeah, she's pissed.
She's dragging shit around.
Yeah, apparently we approached Una and tried to explain that we're Serge, and she's not taking it.
This is, I think, every interaction is make-believe predicated, preceded by Lynx trying to explain that he's Serge.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's upset. As Lynx tells her his life story, she says, "Give me a break. Our Sergi is human. Read my lips. Human. He's not a demi-human like you. You're full of it."
Yeah. Harsh.
Una can't believe this shit.
No.
Harley notes that no one in this village is going to believe we're Serge.
Yeah, well.
Then Una doubles down, stating they all know Serge and they're not going to be fooled by a bunch of demi-humans. Quote, "I don't know what you jokers are up to, but just get the hell out of this village." A lot of demi-human anti-sentiment.
Yeah, it's a lot of racism here.
Yeah, definite racism.
We didn't really experience that with like the sort of settler types versus the aboriginal types here, but we're definitely experiencing that with the
It's happening.
with the demi-humans. So
The lady up there, not at the dock, but by the dock, somehow recognizes Lynx as Lynx, meaning his reputation exists in this world,
yeah,
and begs him not to wreck their boats.
yeah,
She said they live a quiet and humble life here in this village, and there is no way anyone here would oppose Lynx.
Mhm.
You speak to the fish guy.
yeah. The fish guy,
Got the big fish. It's been shaking for 7 days.
maybe longer. Who knows? So the kid under the giant swordfish asks if we're a human cat, or a cat human, which is a good question.
Yeah, so we like catnip.
Yeah, and then he goes on to give this little speech about "you are what you eat" kind of thing that his grandma told him.
Did you tell him whatever, or of course I eat catnip?
I said whatever. I think.
Oh, I said of course, dude.
Yeah, and then he says his grandma is a reflection of. I'm sorry, his grandma. He says his grandma says you are a reflection of what you eat.
No,
Which
no,
is,
no, he doesn't. He says, he tells us grandma says
No.
how you look on the outside is a reflection of what is in your heart. Shit, Chris. What you eat?
let me check that real quick.
Initializing ChrisNet.
Uh-oh, we got some fact checking on this podcast. Maybe because we picked different responses, he had different.
Yeah, I don't remember what I picked. Oh no, okay. So if you say do you like catnip? He says, I thought so. I guess you are what you eat. Grandma also told me that how you look on the outside is a reflection of what's in your heart.
So we're both right.
So yeah, but I thought that was what you eat, which is kind of better. But nonetheless, okay, I fail. Anyway, so then you can talk to the other guy, right?
Yes, the man who caught the fish.
Yes, he treats us like an actual cat.
Yeah.
Tells us that we can't have the swordfish now scram.
He shoos us away.
Yeah, asshole.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That's all I've got for the outside villagers. I then went in counterclockwise houses.
Yes, counterclockwise houses. Did you go to Kiki's house first, I guess?
The kitchen house, bottom right?
No, restaurant. Okay. You went to the restaurant.
Yes.
Remember those two guys at the table that were talking about the Viper Festival?
Yes.
They're still there,
Yep.
but they recognize Lynx.
One has heard of him.
Yes.
Remembers he was a good friend of Viper. The other guy says, you, demi-human, and then asks us about thieves on the mainland, the radical dreamers. He also tells us that although cats have 9 lives, to watch out because the village folk have short tempers.
Yeah.
Sir, I'm familiar, and also I could fuck them up.
Yeah. There's a bit of rhetoric in this town throughout several of the NPCs to remind the player that you are approaching a boss battle. Please equip your elements.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
The guy jerking off the poster of Mickey is still doing that. At the end, he says, "Yowzer, I thought you were Serge." Perhaps remembering that Serge is the only other person to talk to him in the last 10 days he's been doing this.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Talk to Poetry Girl.
I did. She says we're scary.
and don't judge books by their covers, but that we can talk to her. In the next sentence, she says, but actually, you're really quite scary looking. Please go away.
Yeah.
She is, whatever her ethics are, just collapse under the first test.
Yeah. She says that we should talk to Chief Radius, but you might end up in a fight, which is another example of that.
The chef is still bragging about Hecarin's soup, and there's nothing of note in the side room.
Indeed.
Then I went into Kiki's house, top right house.
Yes, in Kiki's house, the old person there, I think it's the one that explained to you how to catch Komodo dragons at the beginning of the game, has never seen a feline demi-human and asks if we are from the main continent, and this person has heard of Lynx.
Yes, Zenon.
Yes.
The lady by the flower asks Lynx to leave. The little girl, presumably Kiki with the lizard, asks us not to eat Celine, who I presume is the lizard.
Yeah. I think that only happens when you bump into it.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. If you talk to her before you bump into the thing, Kiki asks if Lynx is hot in those clothes, which is true. Like Lynx, we talked about this in the past, but Lynx definitely cares about his style.
Yeah.
I don't know if it would kind of be fun if Surge would change his clothes when he's Lynx.
Yeah, I mean, at least Surge is equipped for a tropical paradise. Lynx is wearing multiple long sleeve layers. So a guy in the basement is surprised. Lynx tells him we're Surge, and he laughs it off with capital letters.
Yep.
He tells us the rest of the village here will not find this funny. They don't take kindly to demi-humans, and everyone, by the way, likes Surge.
Of course. Did you try to show him the shark tooth that he gave us a long time ago?
No, did you do that?
Yeah.
What happens?
He says, fuck you. Did you do something to Surge? He recognizes it, and he asks if we've harmed Surge, but then he just kind of drops it off at that point.
Yeah.
So I was unable to completely fuck with the timeline right here.
Just see him going, like, I am Surge.
Yes. Like, you'd think that if Surge had any physical evidence that he was Surge, he would pull out his swallow and his shark tooth and, whatever else.
Or just say, quiz me on village history, please, sir.
Yeah. Especially because Lena's there. We haven't got there, but yeah. Okay, so...
Go to the docks next?
Yeah, let's go to the docks.
So these kids are still running and jumping into the water.
Yeah.
Lena screams and asks who we are. We tell her. Lena can't believe this shit.
No.
Asks what the heck is going on.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine Lena here, Chris? She saw her clone yesterday, and now Surge is a cat guy with a clown and dimensional troll.
Yeah, don't forget that she also saw Surge disappear the first time, too.
Right.
So it feels like those facts combined with the fact that Surge and Lena have a shared history, that they could get this shit figured out.
Yeah.
Like, that's how usually that kind of stuff happens in movies, and like any movies where there's like a body switch or a stolen identity or whatever, then people who have shared histories can figure this shit out. But no, not Lena.
Eric can't believe this shit.
No, I can't either.
The sleepy fisherman believes he will wind up dead if he lets us on his boat.
Mm-hmm.
He knows that he is very superstitious. He explains that is how he got to be as old as he is.
Indeed.
And that's all I've got for the docks.
Let's see. Would you like to go to...
Lena's house or Surge's house?
Lena's house.
All right. Grandma asks if the gates to the great beyond have opened up, which is a hell of a comment.
Yes. And then she hopes that nothing bad happens.
And then cackles.
Yeah, I'm like, same, thanks.
That's just a normal grandparent comment, right?
Yeah. Did she talk to the cat?
No.
She asks if she thinks we're alpha and asks if we're going to eat it. Which you can't respond to that, but I wish they gave you a yes/no here, and you could say yes. But you can speak with Pashul's doghouse, and Pashul has like left a note like, don't come in here.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
My stuff.
Yeah, sure.
Surge's house.
I've got Surge's house, but
that's like last.
Well, let's talk about what happens if you go to Surge's house before you go to Opassa Beach.
Okay.
It's real brief. Marge is surprised to see a demi-human in the village, and she strongly advises that we be on our guard. And again, they're telegraphing, there's a fight coming up, so chill out, dude, and save your game. And that's it. So, like, the implication here is that Surge has not decided to tell his mother about this information until he goes to Opassa Beach, because you can't progress it by going here. I did something kind of cool. I went upstairs, and remember how you could grab Surge's secret savings at the beginning of the game, and I missed it?
Did you get it?
I got it.
Nice, 200G.
It was like, but it said Lynx gets his secret savings.
Oh, no.
So it was cool. So the game is programmed to
recognize who you are at the moment.
Which is, also, I took a nap here, which is really odd.
Yeah. I'm just going to catch a good 10 hours here.
Yeah. Pretty good stuff.
Catman sleeping in Surge's bed.
Yeah, you can go over to Radius's lawn before you initiate the rest of the plot, and you can talk to Pashul. Pashul is running around with the kid, the same kid that she was running around with early in the game.
Not kid, but a kid.
A kid, yes. Important distinction. And Pashul says that she does not have time right now, maybe later. That's it.
If you're chasing bugs and you're really into it, you don't want to mess around with catmen.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure, this is kind of strange, but I'm pretty sure that if you didn't get Pashul at the beginning of the game or coming up, there's 2 points you can get Pashul by giving her the Hecarin bone or coming along with Lena if you didn't do that, if you get Lena.
Yeah.
It seems like there should be an opportunity here to get Pashul. But
you've got to separate your new and old friends, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Also, can you imagine if Pashul was in your party when,
Yes, I can. That's why I wanted to happen. I want a pink dog, a jester, and a cat man.
Well, no, I mean that, but also if Pashul was in your party at Fort Dragonia when Surge got knifed and all that stuff, and he was like, "Oh no, I saw you there and you do this, but I can't."
Yeah, that's a good point. So I guess all of the home characters were returned to home after all that. So anyway, so Ganji is here, and Ganji is one of Radius's cronies, and he's in charge right now because Radius isn't home if we haven't gone to Opassa Beach yet.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I don't talk to demi-humans. And then, according to one of the other dudes, Ganji will not live up to Chief Radius, and he hopes that Radius will be back soon.
Me too, dude.
And the other guy says that he sees links, and he's like, the Record of Fate made no mention of me meeting a demi-human. The Record of Fate never makes mistakes, so he can't believe this shit basically because he didn't see it in the Record of Fate. Which I thought the Record of Fate only told you what happened in the past, but I guess this guy thinks it.
He doesn't know how to use it properly just by being the guardian of it. That's not a really surprise considering how many people in positions of power don't know how to use whatever their job is. Yeah.
The explorers, the guys that were here at the beginning of the game, I forgot their name.
The Toma guys?
Toma the explorer. They're not here.
They're somewhere else. We see them later.
They're gone, yes. So if you do go in the house, there's not much that's different here. There's still those people in line in front of the Record of Fate. But there's a girl in there that tells us that Radius has been acting weird lately.
Uh-oh.
And he keeps staring out towards Termina with thought-filled eyes. So Radius is contemplative right now. And keep in mind, this is a different Radius than the one that we spoke with on Hermit's Hideaway. So
we've still talked to this Radius before. He still beat the shit out of us earlier.
She then goes on to say that he gets like this every year at this time. Maybe it's something to do with the Viper Festival. And that's pretty much it.
Or Radius. So join us next time to see what happens when we go back to Surge's house.
Yes, when Geezer comes back.
Countdown to Geezer.
Yes, indeed. Terraname.com. Patreon.com/RetroAM. Okay, let's check with the real net.
Initializing real net.
Fox says, I wish I could join. Jumper says, I need to catch some Z's maybe next time. Alter Impulse says, Surge and Vosh and fuck it, Tornado Run. I used Tornado Trap. It did not work. Ha ha ha. Harley is Faye. Harley is the contact.
Harley might be the contact.
Yeah, I think we did have a conversation earlier about the dark, cruel destiny of a god. And maybe, do you think Harley is closer to the contact or is closer to Groff?
Groff.
Question. We have our power rankings. We haven't updated in a while. We haven't seen Zoa in a while. I know Zoa is good. We have seen him, and he's still good.
But he's not present in any of our lives right now. He can come back, but we can drop somebody out.
We need to send Harley up to the top.
To the number one?
Harley's the best.
Harley is the best right now.
Skelly's the second best, I think.
Of course.
And we had on there before, so we could drop Zoa totally off, leave Zoa at 3, or we could bring in somebody else. Who do you think?
I mean, I thought Greco was making a strong push, but then he left my party.
Yeah, we haven't really used him in a while. Sprigg's pretty good, but I don't think Sprigg has made enough of an impression here.
Mm-hmm.
So should we leave Zoa at number 3?
Let's leave him right now.
Okay.
We're about to get a bunch of characters, so they'll make some pushes.
Okay, so updated power rankings. The best character in this game at this point is Harley. Number 2 is Skelly. Number 3 is Zoa. So stay tuned for more. And stay tuned for the next episode of this podcast that is good, I guess. Outtakes are coming right up. This episode is a production of Retrograde Amnesia, recorded on October 23rd, 2020. Thank you, Mark.
Shepard.
For the intro music.
You're welcome, Chris.
You can find us on Twitter at Retro Amnesia Pod. Subscribe, rate, and review us wherever you get your podcast. More importantly, tell a friend, spread the word, spam a chat. Tell people about this podcast, please, if you'd like to. Also, email us retrogradeamnesiapodcast@gmail.com. And if you like us, support us on Patreon at patreon.com/retroam. We have all kinds of good stuff there, early access, bonus episodes. You hear us talk about it all the time, and we will continue to talk about it until the end of time, the bend of time. Who knows? Until next time, Eric.
Yes, we will kill God.
And now you may go back to your house and take a nap in your hammock. Oh, I'm still recording. Am I? Yeah, the big clock's still going. Okay, Pashul. Pashul played Petter People.
Perfect Dark.
Perfect Dark. Pashul played Perfect Dark. Pashul played Perfect Dark. Pashul played Perfect Dark. Okay, Eric.
Papadopoulos. Hey, I drove by a porta-pot today.
Yeah?
And it said WAP spray painted on it. WAP.
Yeah.
What's funnier than that?
Nothing?
The next porta-pot I drove by also said that on it.
Okay, so does that also mean something else?
I think it only means one thing, and I think that's what was on there.
Okay. Yeah. I was wondering if like that's an abbreviation for like.
I think someone's tagging the local porta pots with WAP.
I'm totally for that.
Me too.
Yeah, the local youths. Okay, let me make sure that sound came in okay. Did you already talk about how Sprigg talked about what's frightening is there be absolutely no meaning to what appears in our daily lives?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay.
It's cool.
Just want to make sure.
I feel that way about my life, and I'm not even in hell.
Yeah, it happens a lot. Happens every day, but yeah, we push through.
Bringing it.
Hey, it's Friday night, man. It's all good. Surge is in there?